What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Hey, how you
Hey, how you
doing?
doing?
All right. Alessandro Dickey was basically a character of legend in the original Sopranos show. So now that you're tasked with bringing this character that we only knew, based on descriptions with Tony, how what was that? What was it like actually being this pivotal role in this film?
Well, this was just the role that I'd been looking for 25 years making movies. So it was, I was out of my mind with, celebration when I was asked to do it. I was, in one sense, I felt like kind of liberated from the show in this, partly because David told me not to pay any attention to what people had said about me in the series because those characters are all liars, but also just because I wasn't saddled with playing a character that had appeared in the show and having to impersonate that person the way that some of the other actors, this guy included, did so brilliantly. But in other ways, there were elements of the show that were really valuable to me to be able to draw on in terms of the tone and the kind of black humor of the scenes, but also just Tony as a character in the series and Dickie in the film do share certain qualities, even though Dickie is this kind of cuts a different profile than he does. He's a slick rat pack looking guy or whatever, but they're both characters who are struggling to understand the effect that their own violence has on their own like psyches and emotional lives, and are both kind of ill-equipped to be able to do that. And both the movie and the series tracks their growing awareness of the terrible effect that has on them.
Great. Now, Leslie, your character Harold comes at a time when Black Americans are still dealing with some of the same issues that the Black characters in your film dealt with. What was it like going through those scenes in Newark, the Newark riots, during the Newark riots, and what was it like taking on this heavy role?
Oh, I took a lot of inspiration from my grandfather as a man that I knew
Yep.
really well, who migrated from the South, like Harold, like 6 million other Black people did between 1910 and 1970, to divorce themselves from the plantation economy to create a better life for themselves and for their families. So there's a part of Harold that I felt like I knew really well. And the parts that I felt like I didn't know as well, I had David and his imagination and his great writing there to inspire me in those parts. So it was great fun, and it was just such an honor to be a part of the expansion of the mythology in this way.
Dope, dope. Now, Michael, you did an excellent job of playing a younger version of a character your dad made popular in TV history, and I had goosebumps watching a few scenes with you. Uh, was your portrayal of this character fresh, or did you take any hints from watching your dad at all?
Um, I'd say a very, very complicated and fine balance of both. I felt it very important to understand his physicality, the accent, how he stands, how he breathes, how he holds his head down and uses his eyes a lot, how he squints. All those things I knew were going to really embody the character so the audience could experience the Tony that they know. Um, and also even emotionally, sort of how his sarcasm kind of manifests, how his lies and his trickery kind of manifest, right? Like I always loved, one of my favorite lines is when Dickie in the phone booth, like Dickie lies that he's not there, and Joanne's like, "Oh, he's not here," and instead of being like, "I know he's there," he just goes, "Yeah, well, how's Christopher?" Like that's just such a Tony way of like, so those little things that would call back to the audience, but then emotionally, he's a completely different sort of Tony, someone who's very sensitive and a little nerdy and a little naive because he's a kid, and I think like a lot of people at first when I heard about it expected, an 8-year-old Tony or a 12-year-old Tony or a 15, 16, 17-year-old Tony to be gun wielding and robbing, banks or whatever. And like, of course not. Of course he's wants a dog, and he's sensitive and he's gentle, and he kind of gets whittled down into that aggressor. So it was about making it my own where I can thrive, but also calling back to the show.
Awesome. Thank you. My time. You guys did amazing in the film. It was, as a Soprano fan, I was blown away. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Good to talk to you.
All right. Well, we'll start with the ladies first. Michela, your character is very important in shaping the DeMeo crime family's power structure in a way. And I kind of likened it to Helen from Greek mythology because you kind of indirectly started a war within that family and a war with another whole faction of people. Is that a fair comparison?
No. I think you're right. But she doesn't want to. She just pure. She just and smart too. But she just try to. She came from a poor place. She knows poverty, so she's ambitious, and she just want to say the truth every time.
Right. Great. Mr. Liotta, first of all, it's a pleasure talking to you. You're a legend, man, to me. You're not an original show, but a lot of your cast members from other movies were. Did you always want to be a part of the Sopranos franchise? And when you got the role, dude was like, no, was this like your yes moment for you as well?
No, I mean, it wasn't a burning desire, but it was a burning desire in terms of working with David Chase and, being able to say his words. I just really like that they gave me this honor to do it, to work with them.
Also, I always wanted to know, how would you feel your partners from Goodfellas would fare in the DeMeo crime family? How would you think they would fare with this family?
I don't know, hopefully on top.
On top. And also, I don't know. Have you guys? I don't know if you guys have watched The Sopranos, but the ending was always the ending of the series is regarded one of the best endings in the world. What do you think? Tony, what happened with Tony at the end of the Sopranos? What do you think happened with him?
I don't really know. I only know that the thing that I thought in my opinion, it ended like that because it's like David could keep going to like writing on and on and on, and it's just kind of that kind of message. So that's why maybe he chose for a prequel. I don't know. I don't really know what I think about the Tonys, and I don't know.
Ray, you want to chime in?
Well, I didn't see a lot of it, and definitely didn't see the end, so I can't really make a comment without seeing. One day I plan to sit down and catch all of them, but right now I wouldn't know.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you guys. Ray, you're a legend to me. Thank you for having this conversation with me. Y'all did amazing in the film, and I hope everyone goes to see this. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for that. Thank you.